Young Americans for Liberty analyst Kristin Tate. Kristin, I'm sure you just heard Marianne's piece. Can you explain what's going on in Georgia? Because that used to be a solidly red state, and it is becoming more liberal. Should Republicans be concerned?
Yeah, I mean, Republicans can't get too comfortable about Georgia. It's a state that has rapidly changing demographics. It's a population that's growing quickly. And there's massive out-of-state money flowing into these Senate races. But the Thom Tillis win in North Carolina is obviously very good news for conservatives because Republican control of the Senate is really all that stands between us and unchecked radical leftism. Unified control for Democrats could really end America as we know it. I mean, there are no limits to what the Democrats could do if they had control of the Senate, the House, and the presidency. So, what we saw last week was, in fact, a repudiation of far-left liberalism. Republicans overperformed. However, Republicans cannot get too comfortable. These races in Georgia mean everything, and they need to get out the vote because Democrats are certainly trying to do the same.
Okay, Kristin, let's talk about this for a second. This is fascinating, and we're going to go ahead and pull up some of these numbers here from our Fox News voter analysis. And the first one we pull up here, you can see, and the question is, this describes your vote for President Trump among Trump supporters. 79% of people in this poll voted for Trump. 21% voted against Biden. Now, take a look at this other one that describes people's vote for Biden among Biden supporters. Kristin, 49% say they voted for Biden. 51% of people who voted for Biden say they did it to vote against President Trump. What do those numbers say to you?
Well, it just underscores that this entire election was about Donald Trump. It had very little to do with Joe Biden. Most of those who voted Democrat were doing so to vote against Trump, not for Biden. Biden was hardly on the campaign trail. And I mean, even when he held rallies, hardly anybody showed up. He has no real constituency, no passionate supporters. He's really just kind of an empty suit career politician from Delaware who's been collecting taxpayer-funded checks for 5 decades. And keep in mind that this is the third time Joe Biden has run for president. He lost 3 primaries this year. I mean, I remember at the end of February, he had only racked up about 14 delegates. Compare that to 45 that Bernie Sanders had at that point and 26 that Pete Buttigieg had. So this election for Democrats was all about their seething hatred for Trump. For Republicans, it was all about how much they loved Trump. And it was kind of irrelevant, actually, who ran against the president.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know what? It is funny how a lot of members of the media, Whoopi Goldberg on Monday, telling Republicans to suck it up and accept the election loss, although it seems pretty clear to me that Hillary Clinton and her supporters had a tough time doing that for the past 4 years. Kristin, thank you so much.
Thanks, Kristin.